Hello, baseball fan. My name is Dave from the Frontier League Journal, and I am with Scott Mackay, the center fielder and also the person responsible for the media relations for the Kent Mariners. How are you, Scott?
I'm very well, thank you. Thanks for having me.
It's my pleasure, man. It's different for me because obviously I have no idea how baseball is popular in the UK. Can you tell me about this? Are people paying attention to baseball over there?
They are to a degree, and I think obviously in the UK we play football, we play rugby. You know, baseball's a very minor sport in terms of participation numbers. But what we are seeing now is a step change in people wanting to be active and finding something to be, passionate about. So we're finding a lot of new players are coming into the sport. And from there, what we're getting is that attention that it's needed, I think, in the UK.
Is there something in the spirit of the sport that speaks to people over there? What I mean by that, is it a cultural invasion in a way because the World Baseball Classic is making it is being talked about right now, the Olympics? Is that something? Is that it? Is that why it's getting a bit more popular over there?
Yeah, I think that's a part of it. But what I do think is that the spirit of baseball in the team ethic really shines through, and the inclusivity about it as well. I really think that this is a sport, especially in the UK. In America, it's a completely different story, across in the States. But it's a sport that people can really adopt and grow into and become part of a team, which I think is really important. And I think that there's a lot of emphasis on that. And that's what we're finding. We're finding rookies come through, want to try the sport, and then they find they love it and get really enthusiastic about it.
And it's weird for me because every culture has its sports, has its what they like and what they don't. But baseball has been adapted from rounders, and rounders is of course based in the UK. I mean, it was there in the 1800s, in the 1700s. Do people talk about this, that we adapted and pretty much just took your game and it's popular here and over there it's okay?
Yeah, no, we do. And it's funny when we get new players as well. They said, oh, I was quite good at rounders at school. Yeah, so I thought I'd give it a go. So yeah, there is that adaptation. But I think what is really a lot of people are watching the sports on their phones and their smartphones and tablets and all of that over the internet. And I think that's really kind of gone, I want to give that a go. I know for myself, I was at work one day. I was away in a hotel room and I was just flicking through Twitter, and I found some highlights on my Twitter feed from Fernando Tatis Jr. Okay,
wow.
So I thought, that looks so good. He made the sport really kind of appealing to me. And then from there, I had to pick up my phone and then try and find a local team to me, and that was it. I was signed up for sessions, the next day. So
Wow. So we're talking the last 2 years.
Yeah, so I've been playing the sport 2.5 years now.
Okay.
I started at the end of the last season, so I had the off season to kind of train and everything like that. And we did have one season last year. In COVID, we managed to get a season played, which was really good. And now we've obviously been stop and start because of the COVID situation again. But we're ready to start on the 16th. So, a couple of weeks to go.
Okay. A lot of people are watching this right now. Well, in the future, they'll be watching this because we've been talking on Frontier League Journal about the partnership with the Kent Mariners and the Lake Erie Crushers. Can you present to me the Kent Mariners? Where is Kent on the map? Compare, if we look at England, and then what are the Mariners? What level are they? And just present the team to me, please.
Sure. Okay. So if you look on the map of England and the Great Britain, what you'll find is London, and that's where anybody that I ask, anybody goes, where is Kent Mariners or anything like that? It's near London. So we're underneath London to the right slightly. So we're on the coast there. And Kent Mariners, the Mariners name really pays homage to the kind of maritime history of our area.
Okay.
More specifically within Medway and Chatham, because we have a big working dockyard that built load of famous ships and things like that throughout history. So that the Mariners name is that's where it comes from. And in terms of its level of playing, so we do have, like you guys, minor leagues, and obviously you got the major leagues over there.
Oh wow.
So we are, unfortunately, we're at the bottom.
That's okay.
But we do have a lot of really good players coming through that have brought the team on throughout the last few years. We had a winning record last year, which really turned it round from the year before, only winning 1 game out of 30. So to turn that round in 1 year was really good.
Nice.
And there are now aspirations to build the club in terms of its participation numbers and build in a second team. So we'll have, 2 squads to be able to build and move forward with.
Oh wow.
So yeah, we're really excited, and there are some really gifted players that will hopefully make the mark within the UK on the sport, because we do have the national team, so we have Great Britain, and there are a couple of players that could really push for that.
Would it be fair to ask you if you can compare the level of play that you have on the Kent Mariners and what we have in the States? Would it be fair to ask you that?
I think it's the way to look at our sport over here. It's an amateur level. It's people that do have day jobs, so they'll go and do their day job and then they'll come to training in the evening.
Mm-hmm.
So there is that. If you look at the higher levels, in Great Britain, you're probably looking at minor league level. I personally, I don't think you can compare, because it's the audience as well. We don't have the massive attendance numbers. We don't have the facilities either, really. It is an amateur sport that is building, I would say, and the level, because of that building, is getting there, but it's going to take some time.
Oh, okay, perfect. And are every player on the Kent Mariners from Kent or the area, or maybe somebody is searching for a job from Germany, so you say, well, I have a day job for you here and you could play on our team too?
Well, you could do that. A lot of players are from all of the players are from the Kent area.
Okay.
So they're very local to where we play, and get in the car after work, go straight to training and stuff like that. I think with the bigger teams, because we have a national baseball league within Great Britain, there are a lot of foreign nationals playing the sport as well. So that's where the level gets a little bit more comparable to what you have over in the States, So I would say, you probably have a bit more of that come and play for us, little job type thing, in the higher leagues. I mean, you're looking at ours and we are, unfortunately at the moment, we're quite small.
That's okay. That's okay. There's a beginning to everything, by the way.
Of course there is, yeah.
What is the percentage of players on your team and at your level that want and might be able to go up the steps and maybe go to the national league, your national league? What are the percentage of players who do want that?
Yeah, I think you've probably got a 50-50 split of people that actually want to further their progression in the sport, and then you've probably got 50% that want to do it for fun, and go out on a Sunday. It's a whole day event, and that's what really pulled me into enjoying the sport even more, was the actual going out. You take all of your bits and pieces, you can sit down, you enjoy the game as well as playing, and it's a real big I don't know, it's just a complete escape from the outside world. So
it's where I call this my refuge, because
yes.
I'm so tired of politics and everything that's happening in the world. It is my refuge. Baseball that's it, man. So I just can't escape, and I'm very happy that you mentioned it like this.
Yeah.
So the Lake Erie Crushers and you announced a partnership. Why would you be even talking to each other in the first place?
Well, so I mean, this is one of the beautiful things that about the baseball community. You know, so what we did was, so I started in my role as trying to promote, Kent Mariners and the baseball to our community. So I was thinking, so what would be great? What could really make a splash? And I said, well, in America, it's the biggest. You know, it's massive. You know, let's talk to some people in the States. You know, and see if we can get some kind of partnership going. And so we started to look. And what we wanted to do is, you can obviously shoot for the stars, you know, and try and get, you know, maybe, you know, an MLB team and stuff like that. But we kind of managed expectations a little bit. But what we also wanted to do was really highlight the independent scene, you know, because it's a really important kind of step for people that, you know, potentially want to go into the major leagues. And, you know, not a lot of people know about the independent scene over here. So what we did was we approached Lake Erie. I sent an email to Tom Kramig, obviously president, CEO. I got an email back within 24 hours. Let's do it.
Wow.
Let's do it. You know, we're all in. Let's do it. And from there, we've basically built a fantastic relationship. We've had Zoom calls together. You know, we've spoke about a few ideas, you know, that we're going to do together, promotional wise, merchandise wise, and we're really going to shout about what Lake Erie are doing in their this season coming and beyond. And we're also going to have some really good things over here. We're going to plan a celebration day where one of our games, you know, we're going to really shout about the Crushers. We're going to turn out in purple. We're going to, you know, we're going to all drink grape soda and all of that and just have a really good, fun day, you know, and hopefully, you know, this is a two-way partnership, you know, so they've got their ideas as well. And we're going to really work together on trying to kind of shout about what we're doing. When we released the news a couple of weeks ago, we've had a fantastic response to within our baseball community as well.
Oh, yeah.
So we're really, really pleased, and we would never have thought that this would happen. It was a shot in the dark, and it, you know, it's a beautiful thing about baseball, you know?
Yes, and if we want to make this game global and just popular all over the globe, this is exactly the kind of partnership that I want to see created. And I was so proud of the Crushers, and me as an independent baseball fanatics. I was very proud to see that kind of relationship. Was there any talk of maybe going also into the player development side of things? What I mean by that, would you be sending like all your best players over there for maybe a game, or is that something that you've talked about?
We've briefly spoke about it. Yes. You know, once COVID and everything like that's, you know, done, what we would love to do is visit in some kind of capacity. And we spoke about it within our within our committee of the team. But we also have spoken to the, you know, and Tom was like, would love to host you. We'd love to host you, you know. So we're going to build up to that at some point in some capacity. You'll see some lime green in the stands, I'm sure.
That's okay. And what kind of media coverage this news has been getting over there? I mean, I know COVID is way more important right now. I mean, let's be honest. Have you been approached by other media about talking about this relationship or baseball coverage?
Yes, since we released the news that, you know, that about the partnership, we've been approached by regional media. So that's newspapers over here. We've also got TV involved as well. They want to come down and try baseball now.
Oh, wow.
You know, do a report on that, you know. So this has opened, you know, a really big kind of reach for us that we wouldn't have had before, you know. And us as a developing team, having, that media coverage is going to bring in more players for us, potentially. So we've got I'm going to be on another podcast as well. I won't say the name because this is your podcast.
I don't care. I don't care. Go ahead. No, go ahead. No, say it.
Yeah, okay. It's the British Baseball podcast as
Oh,
well.
nice. I tried it. Yeah.
Yeah, so we're going to be on that very soon, talking about the partnership and what it entails. But yeah, we've made a really big splash over here with this news, and we want to grow it. It's not one and done. We want to grow this, throughout the years and see where we can go.
Nice. I mean, what you just said about not mentioning the podcast name, that's exactly what I don't want. I want people to, oh yeah, there's another resources. Other resources, I'll go over there too. I mean, we all can get our part of the pie, and that's what I love about baseball and the way we can talk about this. We mentioned the media coverage. The facilities over there, do you even have stands? I mean, can people go there and watch the games for free?
Yeah, so basically, like you say, the facilities is a problem over here. We obviously don't have the big ballparks that you guys have. The Mercy Stadium that Lake Erie have. We would love to have that. Maybe one day, we'll see. So yeah, I think there is that issue with facilities, but obviously we're going to be working on that. We're hoping to, really kind of build out ours. People can come along to the games for free. So, what we do is we advertise the games and basically say the public can come along, especially with the COVID restrictions being, lowered now. You'll be able to come along and enjoy a game. So there will be a bit of that, but our big, kind of premier facility really is our kind of national park, basically, for baseball, which is Farnham Park.
Okay.
And that's beautiful. That's very, very independent. The feel of it's brilliant.
Wow.
So yeah, I mean, there's three big diamonds there, all with outfields, and there are bleachers there as well. And then they host the national finals and everything after the main season.
Okay.
So I would say facilities, it's very basic. It's maybe in a field somewhere that, they put a backstop off and, there'd be a few big tree trunks to sit on and stuff like that. But yeah, it's the beautiful thing. You can build it anywhere. Build it and they will come, eh?
Yeah, absolutely. I love that reference to the movie. Perfect. And one of my last question is about the stats, because just before the interview, I asked you if you had a page where I could see the stats and the players. And you mentioned, well, we don't really have this over here. I mean, I know it's easy for me to say. Wouldn't it be a good way to maybe bring in the nerds, bring in the people who are maybe stats oriented to just offer that to them? Is that something that you're into, that you want to offer, and that's just not in place right now?
Yeah, it definitely is what we get our players asked, oh, how did I do, and when they're playing and stuff like that. But yeah, a lot of the time, to put the stats together is very reliant on the actual club itself doing it. So you need to find, volunteers to basically score it for you. And I mean, personally, I do it in a little notepad for myself, like after going at bat and all of that stuff.
Wow.
So yeah, it's very, very basic, but we would love to do it. And I know that our British Baseball Federation is putting in some new software that is accessible to all teams to access, that they could do it themselves and then really get a deep dive into how people are doing. I think it's going to give, a new dimension and a new sophistication to British baseball. And if they do implement it, I do think, that's where we could grow even more, because you're going to get performance analysis you didn't have,
Are you the best player on your team?
No.
You're the center fielder, so are you pretty much a contact and speed guy?
Yes, yeah, contact and speed. Yeah, that's. I mean, I used to play football all my life,
Oh, nice.
so I'm quite nippy, quite fast. But we do have some really good players. Our MVP last year was a guy called Kieran Ives.
Okay.
A pitcher, always in the zone, and he's got this really kind of weird pitch that just dips just before it hits the plate. It in the strike zone, it can start out really high, but then it just zips in. So he was our MVP last year, and there are a really good couple of players. So I'm not going to put myself up there, but.
And by the way, do you know the name of the pitch that he throws? Is it a changeup or a splitter? Do you have any idea?
It's more of a changeup because it's just the way he does it, and as I say, in batting practice, sometimes it's a bit of a bit of a hard one to hit.
I gotta say, man, your passion for baseball transpires through the screen for me here in Quebec, in Canada. Thank you so much, Scott, for taking the time. And I mean, I do appreciate you taking the time. And just if people can relate to one team in England and just know about you and just this kind of relationships being built, I mean, I think I've done my part. You've done yours. I have a great season. I think your season is beginning on the 16th.
That's correct. Yes.
Nice. So
I'm looking forward to it.
Nice. Have a great season, and let's keep in touch, man. Anytime you want to do this, we can talk about your season and what's happening with the Crushers. So if you're coming over here, or if you have a special day that you've planned, let's just do it again and just talk for 5 minutes, and we'll present it to people.
Yeah, that's great. Thanks so much for your time. No, really amazing. Thank you.
Cool. Have a great day, man.
Thank you.
Bye bye.